What's going on, boys? Back at it again with another super valuable video. This one is probably going to be my best one yet. I did a survey with 124 agency owners and I asked them one commonly themed question. For every single one of them that had a personal brand, I asked them, what are the struggles and the common challenges that you notice with running your personal brand? For everyone who did not have a personal brand, I asked the agency and the agency owners, I said, why haven't you started one? Now, the interesting thing that I did whenever I kind of collected all of the answers, did all of the data, was I noticed there were three common themes that all of them had to say, whether they had a personal brand or whether they did not have a personal brand, about why starting branding is actually really, really difficult. So I just decided if those guys, who most of them were like my buddies and peers and we're in the same network, have these problems, then I bet just about every agency owner has at least one of these problems, if not a combination of all of them. So in my head, I was like, these problems are actually really, really simple to fix. I should probably just make a video about it because it'll be ridiculously valuable. And if those three things are the things that people are stumbling on when it comes to making a personal brand, I'll just make a video about answering every single one of those things so that when it comes time to actually run your business, you'll know what to do. Hopping into the first thing, lack of strategy. What this basically means is that, like, brands that aren't SMMAs or like social media marketing agencies, they don't know how to promote themselves on social media. This makes a whole lot of sense because, like, if you are an agency owner, you're probably good at fulfilling the service that you fulfill and not necessarily marketing yourself on social media, which I imagine would be the case for most people if you don't run a marketing agency. So the most simple solution that I can give for this one is I'm just going to give you the blueprint that we use for most of our clients. I'm putting it up on the screen right here and I'm going to be looking at my computer while we talk about it. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to LinkedIn specifically, this is usually what we use for most of our clients, but this thing here is about LinkedIn. You can use it for just about every platform because the content funnel and the content strategy is extremely simple. It is a little difficult to implement, but only if you don't fully understand everything we're talking about. So I'm gonna start at the very side of the graph right there where it says LinkedIn profile. Now you can replace this with just about any social media, but there are two basic ways that you're gonna be able to get clients from social media. They're gonna be the orange or brown box, there's organic content, and then there's inbound leads. Basically, that means you can get clients through social media by either reaching out to them or them coming to you. Reaching out to them looks like cold DMs, replying to like comments on their videos, and then them coming to you literally just means organic views or somebody like messaging you or DMing you. So here's the thing, right? Going down from the purple section, you're gonna notice there's something very, very specific, the CTA. The call to action is ridiculously important because you want people to actually take an action on the things that you plan on doing. So that looks like a direct message. So like literally you just say in your videos or in your post, send me a DM, or it looks like a lead form or what we sometimes call lead magnets. We'll get into those in a minute. Basically a lead form is like almost like an email opt-in. It's like a way to like contact people in other ways. So that's DMs, it's lead opt-ins. And then when you go down the funnel some more, you see call booked. Now we go all the way back around, call booked, then goes to inbound leads, right? Now I'm gonna start at the brown one where it says organic content. Again, CTAs, ridiculously important. Your lead magnet. I recommend that just about every business owner has some form of like high funnel lead magnet. For me, it's like I'll make your organic content for free. I'm working on like doing like a playbook or like a free course that I'm gonna give out about how to actually start a personal brand, the ins and outs and everything. Something that the people who I talk to find extremely valuable, like somebody who I consider a lead will be magnetized. They will be attracted to that thing. So that is from that lead magnet, then goes your landing page. Again, that thing, lead magnet, is usually free. If it's not free, it's extremely low ticket, like under 50 bucks, usually like 10, 20 bucks. But that lead magnet goes into your landing page. And then, of course, after you give that thing for free, typically I would imagine you want to give it out for free. You go to your email signups. That's when you get that person's email, very similar to the lead form. Like, you're able to contact them after directly off of the social media platform. Then they're able to get inside your nurture sequence. That means you're able to email them or reach out to them in a way that is not social media, in a very like organic way. Then you send a lot of different stuff, right? This is where ours kind of differs from from other people's. Once you get someone inside of your nurture sequence, the goal is not to tell them cool stories about your life. Don't get me wrong, you can include them. The goal is to send them case studies or success stories. Why? Because you want people to look at you as an industry expert. Remember, the lead magnet only matters to people who you really, really care about solving your problem. So like, the lead magnet is only valuable to a very small, specific group of people. When you get them inside of your nurture sequence, the whole goal is to get the people who are basically highly qualified leads to look at you as the person that can answer their problems. After that, you get your emails start converting, and then you just get more leads. So guys, that is like the whole thing when it comes to making a social media strategy. I just gave you one. Give out, make good content, give out free stuff, convert people from emails into really, really good stuff. Like, don't listen to the things that I say. If you don't believe this graph, look at the things that I do. I basically do it all of the time. Look at my past YouTube stuff. Look at like all of the stuff I've done on social media. It follows this exact formula, and I promise it works really, really well. The second point here is inconsistent branding. This one was the one that was probably like the lowest on the scale, but for the people who have this problem, like, they had it really, really bad. All inconsistent branding means is that they're really good at one social media platform. If you watched any of my videos, you know that I say plenty of times being good at just one platform is not enough. There are essentially 6 platforms that matter the most in our current society. I'm going to pop them up on the screen right here. Typically, you have to pick at least 2 to 3 of those 6. Honestly, you should be posting on all 6, but you have to pick at least 2 to 3 of them, because depending on your audience, depending on the things you sell, your people are going to live somewhere in one of these 6. I'll make this a little bit easier for you. If you're in B2B, they'll be on this side. If you're in B2C, they'll be on this side. More than likely, this is a really great rule of thumb to follow. And regardless on which one of these things you are, this is one really, really good way to get started. Now, let's say you have the problem of being really, really, and I mean like really good on a platform. Just one. Twitter is your platform. Maybe TikTok is your platform. Maybe you're really great at writing LinkedIn articles. This one is going to be really, really hard to overcome, at least for free. Typically what happens is that if you're really good at one platform, you probably enjoy making posts on that specific platform, but you shouldn't stop. The only thing you actually should do is repurpose your actual content. I'm going to leave a website. It's called repurpose.io. Now, it's not my favorite to do because I enjoy doing this manually, but if you're a one-man show, this website is going to be really, really good for literally just repurposing your content. One of my favorite things about the website is that you can automatically make one post on one social media platform and have that post reposted across all of your platforms. Basically, I'm sure you've already got the idea here. My theory around content, specifically when it comes to posting on multiple platforms, is don't recreate the wheel. If you want to post on 6 different platforms, you don't need 6 different ideas. You need one really, really good idea adapted 6 different times across all of those platforms. And all the adaptation really means is that people think differently on different platforms. For example, somebody on LinkedIn is thinking completely different than someone scrolling on TikTok. So understanding that nuance of every single platform and then adapting accordingly is traditionally what this looks like. Now, if you want to follow my method, like what I actually do, I would literally tell you, go to upwork.com, make a job posting that you're looking for a social media manager to repurpose, make your content into graphics, or maybe even repost some of your short form videos that you're already creating and have them just repost your videos, change up the caption a little bit, get a content calendar where you can see everything that's going out. Again, again, this is one that's really hard to do for free, because if you hire a social media manager, you're gonna have to pay for it, and then you're also gonna have to give out like a content scheduler. Like you're gonna need Buffer, you're gonna need Hootsuite, one of these platforms that allow you to schedule, post, and book. Just because human error, if like someone being in your social media accounts, especially if you're doing it cheap, like if they're overseas, can really kill your engagement. So to be honest, there's really no reason why inconsistent branding should be an excuse. If you have the problem of inconsistent branding, then you are already ahead of most people. Like you're already making content, you're just not adapting the content properly. Literally, the only thing you need to do is reiterate the ideas that you already have in order to make what you're doing more valuable. I'm gonna leave my framework right here. I like to call it the content webhook framework. Basically, the only thing that it states is that people don't care about you as much as you think they care about you. So if, for example, one person is following you on LinkedIn and then someone else is following you on Twitter, typically they're not the same person. And even if they are not consuming your content at the rate that you think they are, which is why this framework basically states that the only thing that you need to do is post the same piece of content at a different time on a different platform. Thus, you're making one piece of content, two pieces of content, because the only thing you did was copy it from one platform where it really worked, tweaked it a little bit on one platform, and then all of a sudden now you have two pieces of content and it took you 30 seconds of effort. All right, the final thing that whenever I did this really exhaustive survey that most of my agency owner buddies told me that they struggle with is time. I'll be honest, I put this one as last because time constraints when it comes to running a personal brand is one of the most difficult ones it is to overcome. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you're running an agency, you're thinking about building a personal brand, you're going to have to spend time in the personal brand. That part I feel like you already know. But depending on the systems that you have, like the well-builtness of those systems is directly correlated to the amount of time that you need to spend running your personal brand. For an immaculate example, my clients spend about 30 minutes to 1 hour a week. Most of that time is them spent on like calls with me, recording content. The other half of that time, I'd say maybe 10, 15 minutes a week, is me sending a content calendar to them and then them going in and asking for any revisions or anything that they see that they might want to change, slight tweaks, things like that. That literally takes 30 minutes to maybe 1 hour every single week. But that's because they're buying into a very well-oiled machine that I've built after literal years of content creation. If you're a one-man show, this will be a whole lot harder to overcome because essentially all of the systems that I have inside of my business, you have to replicate inside of a tinier scale inside of yours, or else you're going to be spending the on average 15 to 20 hours a week that it takes to build consistent content of a personal brand. But even though it's hard, it does not mean that overcoming time constraints is impossible. Again, frameworks are ridiculously important. The framework that I gave you on point number 2, the one about the webhook framework, can easily be applied here, but usually I would say ideation and overthinking are the two biggest things that make content take up too much time. Literally, people spend too much time thinking through ideas when really they don't have to. People want to know, again, the 3 things I talk about all of the time. Who are you? What do you do? And how can you help me? If you make an ideation strategy that literally answers those 3 questions in a variety of different ways, then the ideation process becomes ridiculously simple because you realize something as simple as like what you're doing right now, watching this YouTube video, can be made into a piece of content because you learned something from this YouTube video, and thus you can post about the thing that you learned and share it to your followers, becomes something that's like really simple. There's no reason to ever overthink content. Ideation is really simple, which leads me perfectly into my next point, spending too much time on the tiny details. I see every single agency owner who literally buys my service and anyone who runs a personal brand do the exact same thing. I don't have a professional mic. I don't have professional lighting set up. None of the stuff that I want looks the way that it should. And thus, because all of this thinking is so hard, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to be super duper honest with you. If you're valuable, if you're not boring, and if you can really make a good piece of content, lighting doesn't matter, your mics don't matter, nothing matters. The only thing that people care about is the value of the video. That means if you are sharing something that is inherently, ridiculously, abundantly valuable, Nobody cares that your quality sucks. Nobody cares that you're not shooting a professional commercial and like don't have all of these crazy lights with this ridiculous setup. Like, forget trying to look like me with all the stuff I have going on. This is literally just to keep you watching YouTube videos for longer. But like, if you don't have that, you can make a 60-second short that's valuable about something in your industry. You can be a credible expert literally from your home office. Just turn the lamp on, put the camera on as well, and then put something in front of your face. I see everybody spending way too much time on the little details, and those little details are what keep them from performing the way that they should in their personal brand, because really it's not that big of a deal. You can make it one all you want, but the truth is the only thing that matters is you hitting post. If you remove every single thing out of the way, every insecurity, every little detail, every single excuse about why you don't want to hit post, your business will be dramatically successful 3 to 6 months from now, literally because you just took the time to hit the post button. It is the highest ROI thing that you can do. On top of that, you can post on all 6 of the platforms that have our society's attention in this current moment, where the people who you want to buy from you live and spend their time every single day for free. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys, and until next time, peace.